If you're in search of a better looking way to protect the front end of your JT and get some added benefits in the meantime, this officially licensed Jeep Adventure HD front bumper with the Jeep logo will be a great pick for your 2020 or newer JT Gladiator. Now this will be a good pick if you're missing that off-road aesthetic and off-road function and want a bumper that's going to bring that to the table, whether you're an avid off-roader or only go once in a while. Now this bumper will also be a bit more compact in design if you're looking for something that's a little bit more high clearance and minimal as far as the look is concerned, while still getting all the benefits of a heavy-duty front bumper and what they have to offer. Not to mention, if you're a fan of Jeep as a whole and want a way to add this into your build, this is going to be a great way to do it in a sleek and stylish fashion. Now this will feature multiple benefits, including good mid-width protection to the front, as well as grille protection up top with this integrated bull bar and support tubing over on the sides. Now recovery is also integrated into this design with the 2 welded D-ring mounts right on the front, and it's going to include D-rings capable of a 9,500 pound pulling capacity, each of those for those just-in-case moments. Now you can also be the rescuer thanks to the winch plate up top that's going to be compatible with all standard winches with up to a 12,000 pound pulling capacity that of course have that standard bolt pattern. Now last but not least, this will allow you to swap over your factory fog lights so you don't have to sacrifice those when upgrading to a new bumper, and will include light mounting tabs up on top of this bull bar for additional lighting if you're looking to customize a little bit further. This will be made with a heavy-duty 5/32 inch steel plate construction with a 2 by 0.12 inch tubing, offering a robust construction, and will have the Jeep logo embossed right on the front for that additional style. Now on top will be a premium 2-stage black powder coat finish, which uses an epoxy pre-coating and a high-grade textured black powder coat for optimal protection to the steel underneath. Now this will also be completely bolt-on, so you won't have to worry about modifying your rig with a straightforward install that we'll show you how to do in just a minute. This will come in at about $575, and I think you're definitely getting your money's worth at this price point, considering all the options that you're getting, including recovery, light mounting options, protection, and compact and sleek styling. Now the embossed Jeep logo is also something that you don't see very often, and this will allow you to rest assured that your bumper here is going to be up to Jeep standard, so you can have some peace of mind knowing that this is going to be a quality front bumper that you can trust on the front of your JT. Install is going to be super simple for a bumper, so this is going to get 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 2 hours to get the job done with some pretty basic hand tools. Now at this point we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown of what the install process looks like step by step. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into that.
The tools you're going to need for this install include a 3/8 electric ratchet or regular ratchet, 1/4 inch ratchet, a 3/8 extension, an 18, 16, 13, 8, and 7 millimeter socket, T20 Torx, your included Allen key, 7 millimeter wrench, clip removal tool, diagonal cutters, not included zip ties, and your impact gun. What's up guys? Today we're going to be installing a bumper on our Gladiator, but before we get started, you're going to watch a short video on how to uninstall your stock bumper, and I'll meet you back here for the install.
So our first step to uninstalling our factory bumper is to remove our splash guard. It's held in by 8 push clips and 2 8mm bolts. So we'll grab an 8mm socket for our bolts and a clip remover tool for our clips. So our first step is to remove these 2 8mm bolts. And now we can remove our push clips. Now coming back up top, right in between our bumper and our grille, we have 2 more push clips that we have to remove. So once again, I'll grab that clip remover tool and pop these out. Next, we can come behind the bumper on the passenger side. We have to disconnect our connector for our fog lights. So we'll press in back here and disconnect our harness. So now staying on the passenger side, right by where we disconnected our fog light harness, we can remove this 16mm bolt as well as these two 18mm nuts. Now for the top nut, we're gonna leave that threaded on a few threads just to hold everything in place while we work on the other side. So we'll take that 16mm socket to remove our first bolt. And then we'll grab our 18mm socket to remove our two nuts. And then once again, up top, we're gonna leave it on a few threads just to hold everything in place. Now coming to the inside of our passenger frame rail, we have the same setup with a 16mm bolt and two 18mm nuts. So once again, we'll grab that 16mm socket for the bolt. And then we'll swap out to our 18mm socket for our nuts. And on the inside of our frame rail, we can fully remove both of our nuts since we have that one supporting the weight on the other side. And then we can slide our bracket out of the way. And once we're done with the passenger side, we can repeat those same steps on the driver's side. So now we can go ahead and remove our two nuts that we have left supporting the bumper and fully remove it.
So now we're going to be transferring our fog light harness over to our new one. So to do so, we're going to remove these 6 bolts on this side and 6 on the other using our 7mm socket and our extension. Now we can repeat that process on the other side. Now we can remove this panel. Now using our 13mm socket, we're going to remove these 4 bolts. Now we can remove this metal cover. Now we can unplug our fog lights. Now using your clip removal tool, we can remove all these clips that hold the wiring harness. And now we can transfer this over to our new bumper. Now we're going to remove our fog light assemblies using our T20 socket. Gonna pull up. Now you can repeat that process on the other side, and then we can go ahead and throw it on our new bumper. Now moving on to the back of the bumper, we can install our fog light so we can get that into place. And for this hole, we'll be using our bolt, lock washer, and washer. We can put that through. Then on the back side, we can thread our nut onto the back of the bolt. Then we can slide our 7mm wrench through onto the back of the nut. Then we can take our 2.5mm Allen key and tighten that down. Now for the other side, it's the same orientation, bolt, lock washer, and washer. So we can thread those in. We can tighten them down with a 2.5mm Allen key. And now you can repeat that process on the other side. So now we're going to be throwing our fog light harness back into place. We're going to connect our 2 fog lights in the connectors. Now you can wire this up however you'd like, but for demonstration purposes, we're just going to be zip tying up the sides. It's important to know that when you're installing your harness that the connector belongs on the passenger side of the bumper. So let's get these zip tied up. Now we're going to be installing our stud and nut plate. We're going to slide it through, hold them up. Then take your plastic holder and we can thread that in to hold the bolt in place. So now we're going to be installing our bumper onto our factory mounting points. We're going to line our studs up with the top of the holes. Now that you have them through the mounts, we're going to add our washer. Lock washer. And our nut. Then we can add in our bolt, lock washer, and washer to the bottom. Now you can repeat that for the other side of the frame rail and the other side. Now that you have all your nuts and bolts threaded in place, we're going to use our 18mm socket to tighten them down. And you can repeat that on the other side. Now we can plug in our fog light connectors and put in our push clips. Now for our last step, we can install our D-rings. Slide the pin through, thread it in. Same for the other side. And we're all good. So that's going to wrap up the install on our officially licensed Jeep Adventure HD front bumper with Jeep logo for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. Thanks for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it here at extremeterrain.com.